Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Roto's Questions. And today my topic is going to be why I don't vote. And I chose to do this topic today because there's a lot of elections going on this year. So there's a provincial election going on in Alberta right now. I mean, the states is starting to heat up. I mean, I don't know if there's going to be a federal election, but there's a lot going on right now in terms of elections. So I just wanted to give people a few reasons why I don't vote, and just throwing it out there right now. This is just my opinion. I'm not telling you not to vote. If you want to vote, go ahead. This is just how I feel, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. So here it is. For and these are all just random. They're not in any particular order. So the first one is we don't live in a democracy. Let's just get that straight right now. You can't have a democracy and a queen. We have a queen. We have a queen on our money. I mean, her face is on our money. We have a lieutenant general and a governor general. We're not even allowed to make a law without the queen's approval. So how much does that say? Our politicians are just puppets to the queen. We're not allowed to do anything without the queen's approval. So that just says something right there. It doesn't matter who you elect. If it doesn't make the queen happy, what they're trying to do, she's just going to veto the law. So right there, boom. We don't live in a democracy. Two, politicians are all puppets. There's no, let's just get that straight now. Whether, they're a puppet to a secret cabal of people that, secretly rule the world, or whether, they just have people that they have to answer to. No, there's no such thing as a monolithic leader. So there's no one man that just, or woman that calls all their own shots. People get advice from other people, and yeah, but in my view, they're all puppets because I truly do believe there's a secret group of people behind pulling the strings. Leaders aren't elected, they're selected. If you don't believe me, do some research and you'll see. I mean, even the States is the most obvious case for this, as they're pretty much one of the most corrupt states in the world, if not the most corrupt. I mean, just look at the States for the last 25 years or so, it's been all Bush or Clinton's. Even with obviously with the exception of Obama right now, even though he is their cousin. You don't believe me? Look it up. So it's crazy, to think that just two families can rule the United States for 25 years. It's crazy. So all these people, like I said, so there's no such thing as a monolithic leader. So that takes me to number three. All these people have people they have to answer to before they answer to the people. So these people all have, people that make donations to their parties, donations to their campaigns, people that help them take power, people that help them stay in power. Obviously, the military. I mean, that's a little less important in a democracy because the military doesn't usually overthrow, the Prime Minister of Canada or the Prime Minister of the UK and such. So they don't have to worry too much about the military coming to overthrow them, but they do have to worry if, say an oil company gives them $1 million for their campaign, and then all of a sudden they start, after they get elected, they start saying, oh, we need green energy, and the tar sands are polluting our community and stuff. All of a sudden that oil company is going to be like, hey, what's up? We gave you money for your campaign, and now you're not supporting us. They're going to go and support somebody else with even more money and get that person thrown out of power. And this is how things work. I mean, all these people that give money and all these people that will be like, yeah, I'll support your leadership race, or I'll support you in this way, I'll support you in that way. All these people aren't doing that for nothing. They expect to get something back into their pockets. And if they don't, they're going to come knocking expecting something. So that's why a lot of politicians will talk the talk during an election campaign or when they're in the opposition, because it's easy to criticize somebody. Oh, yeah, the leader's not doing a good job. This party's not doing a good job. Look at all the bad things they're doing. But then as soon as they get into that power, if they get into that power in that position, then they see, oh, damn, I got to answer to this person, and this person help get me here. So I got to make them happy because they're the ones that keep me in power. And if I don't keep them happy, then it doesn't matter if all the people love me. these people are the one that are going to overthrow me or get me thrown out of office or get someone else elected. So that's why these people are puppets. You know, and they got to answer to these other people. So whether they had good intentions coming in, they get corrupted once they're in. And that leads me to my next point: corruption. I mean, we see it everywhere. You'd be foolish to think that your government, no matter where you are watching this, no matter if you're talking about municipal, provincial, federal, state, whatever, they're all corrupt. Obviously, not every single politician is corrupt, but a lot of them are. You know, they make laws that support corporations and support people with money, and they steal from the poor people, from the working class. I mean, look at people here in Canada. They're taxed 30 to 40% that are working every day, 40 plus hours, and there's corporations making billions of dollars that don't pay tax. You know, if you don't call that corruption, then I have no idea what corruption is, because that's to me, that's a crime. You know, why are these billion-dollar corporations not getting taxed? You know, and same with like the bailouts. If you don't know about the Canadian bailouts, look it up, because you know there wasn't only bailouts in the States. I know a lot of Canadian banks also got bailout money from the federal government. So check that out as well. You know, my next point is that it's an illusion of choice. All of these parties are controlled by the same people. You know, so it's like if you look at this image, like the cow is like, oh, should I go left? Should I go right? It doesn't matter which way you go when you're talking about the party system, because they both lead to one place, and that's the slaughterhouse. You know, like I said, they're all controlled by the same people. So it doesn't matter who gets elected. These people are still going to have to answer to this other group of people that are calling the shots from behind the scenes. And that's how they make sure that they're always winning, because they control every single party. So it doesn't matter who wins. And that's what the meaning of the illusion of choice is. It doesn't matter which person gets elected, because they're still answering to the same person as the previous party or the previous person that was in power. So unless you change the whole system, unless you change the party system, it just doesn't matter. You know, and then that another brings me to another good point is the party whips. You know, so say, you know, you do get, you know, a couple few, you know, say members of parliaments, MPs that do actually want to make a change. And then it comes time to vote on, you know, some important law. You know, so like right now, Bill C-51, you know, is the new spy police bill that, you know, Harper and the Conservatives are trying to push through, anti-terror law or whatever, call it whatever you want. So when it comes time to vote, they have party whips that say, hey, all the PCs, you guys are voting this way. You, like the individual MPs don't even get to make up their mind on how they vote. So what's the point of even having them there when just, you know, this one guy's gonna be like, no, you're voting like this. And if they try and vote another way, they'll just get kicked out of the party. So like there you go. That's the best example of illusion of choice. What does it even matter? Why do we even elect MPs or anything? Why don't we just select, oh hey, this party whip, this guy's just gonna choose everything. I mean, we're sitting here thinking we're in a democracy and that our vote actually counts, but it doesn't when just this one guy is telling everyone how to vote. So why do we even have this system set up? I mean, it's crazy. So that's another thing you can look into, is the party whips and how they force MPs to vote a certain way, at least on the issues that matter. You know, and this might be my number one reason why I don't vote and why I don't support any of the parties. Because I've never heard one single politician, at least here in Canada, there's been a couple in the States, but at least here in Canada, talk about real issues that matter to me. This is just me. These are the issues that matter to me. I've not yet heard one politician say, hey, you know what? We've been at war for 14 years, and a war on terror. We've spent billions and billions of dollars. You know, Canadians keep dying, you know, and now we're being threatened by terrorist groups. This all started from 9/11. You know, why didn't we ever do our own investigation into 9/11? Why are we just believing the Americans on what they say, that hey, this is what happened? And yeah, Why doesn't Canada do its own independent investigation into 9/11? I mean, we're spending billions and billions of dollars supporting this war on terror and we haven't even done an investigation. It's crazy. What about the Canadian banking scandal? Why are these privately owned banks printing money and lending it to the Canadian government when the Bank of Canada can do it tax free? Or not, sorry, tax free, interest free. You know, if you just take a look at when these banks started doing that, that's when our debt skyrocketed. I mean, Canada's in debt almost $1 trillion already. That's crazy. So just those two issues, and then another one, like I mentioned earlier, we're not in a democracy. Why is the Queen calling shots from wherever the hell she is across the ocean? Why aren't any politicians talking about, what, maybe we should actually become an independent country. Maybe we should get rid of the monarchy. Maybe we should stop supporting wars. Why aren't any politicians talking about that? So until they start talking about these issues, I don't care what they say, because they're just paying lip service, just saying things, like Trudeau, oh, hey, I'm going to legalize marijuana because he wants to get the marijuana vote. I mean, it's crazy. And so the last issue that I want to talk about is, when you vote, you're saying, hey, yeah, I'm cool with the system. I'm cool with the way things are, and I support the system. I don't. I'm not cool with the way things are. I'm not cool with all the corruption. I'm not cool with, giving terrorists funds and arms. I'm not cool with paying taxes to the banks because, that's where our taxes go. You think they're going to like build the roads and build schools and all that? No. They're going into the bankers' pockets. Look it up. Even on the bank, or not the Bank Canada, the Canadian government website, it says 15% of taxes go to pay interest. And that's just what they admit. I think it's a lot higher than that. So I don't support the system. I want the system to collapse. I don't support a party system. Every MP should be an independent MP because, like I said about the party whips. So that's my opinion. I'm not telling anyone not to vote. If you want to vote, go ahead. I'll even talk to you about voting. My friend messaged me the other day and she's like, yeah, I want to talk to you about, the parties and about voting. She's like, I'm going to vote this year. And I had a conversation with her about it. So I'm not against any of that. If you want to talk about the parties and all that, I'll guide you in the right hand. But this is my opinion. I don't believe voting matters. So I don't believe it makes a difference. If it made a difference, they wouldn't let us do it. Just like protesting. Oh yeah, you're allowed to protest, but you got to tell us when you're gonna do it, the route you're gonna take. You got to ask for permission. Really? Like, yeah, it's crazy. So I know a lot of people are gonna hate, and they're like, oh well, don't you want to get the conservatives out of power right now? You got to vote because this riding only won by 50 votes, so your vote does make a difference, and blah blah blah. So what if the conservatives get voted out of power to get replaced by who? Another puppet? To me, it's just a waste of time. Like I said, they're all ruled by the same people. All the parties are controlled by the same group of people. If it made a difference, they wouldn't let us do it. So I don't care if Harper gets voted out and replaced by Trudeau or replaced by whoever. I don't care if Jim Prentice gets replaced by whoever. When was the last time that you can truly sit there and say, oh, hey, you know what? That government did a really good job. They really looked out for the people and they actually made change. No, never. The people are always being like, oh, these guys are doing this and that and this and that. People are always complaining and, oh, I can't wait till these guys get voted out. And look, they just get replaced by another puppet and then boom, another 4, 8 years, 10, 12 years of complaining about this party. So yeah, there's my opinion. Like it or not, that's just my opinion. I don't vote. I don't think it makes a difference. The system needs to change. The party system needs to go. And we need real change, real politicians talking about real issues that actually matter. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.